Welcome to Firefly Studios. Today we're going to cover how to add in some additional functionality to our player's movement, making us be able to move in a diagonal direction, not just straight or right and left. Additionally, we're going to make it so our player can correctly damage our enemy. So let's jump right into it. We're going to want to be in our player movement script, because this is where we handle our movement. And currently, as a review of how this script works, we get our input and save it in a vector too. Our input in our horizontal axis and our vertical axis. So horizontal is your A and D keys, vertical is in your W and S keys. The way this works is if you are pressing your negative button, in this case, A is the negative for horizontal and S is the negative for vertical. Think of a graph to represent this. As you press these buttons, you'll get different values. So A is -1 in the X, D is +1 in the X. Pressing 0 buttons at all gives you a return of 0. Based off of this, we switch on our move input and we rotate our art depending which way we are moving. So vector2.right means we're moving to the right, left, up, down, so on and so forth. In order to move on the diagonals, we can just feed in our own vectors. So we know, for instance, if we want to move diagonally upwards to the right, then we would want a value of 1, 1, because that would be moving to the right in the direction of 1, 1. Let's put that in. So we just have to add in cases for that. And because we don't want to rotate 90 degrees, we want to rotate halfway between a 90 degrees rotation. We're going to rotate 45 degrees. So here we go. The main difference is rather than being able to use the shorthand of vector2.right or vector2.up, we have to create a new vector2 and give it the coordinates that we want. So in our case, 1, 1, meaning we're moving to the up right, is going to rotate us -45 degrees. What these numbers are right here will depend on the way that your art is facing. For my art, these are my numbers. Your numbers will be different if your art is facing a different way. So go ahead and play around with it till you get the values that you want. Next, in order to make our player to attack, we're shooting arrows in this game. So we will want to go to our basic arrow attack, and then we will go to where we have our debug and replace it with this line right here. So what this line does is it takes our raycast, which we are using to determine if we hit something. So we're raycasting just a short distance in front of our arrow. If that hits something, hit will return true, and this if statement will trigger. If hit, we want to do damage, and then we want to destroy ourselves. In order to do damage, we access our collider component from our hit point, and then from there, we can access our health script on our enemy, and then make them take damage equal to our damage value. Do make sure to open up your arrows prefab, and make sure that your damage value has a value. Otherwise, no damage will be dealt at all. I'm going to go with 5 because my enemies have 10 health, so each arrow is going to do half of their life. Now, let's hit play and we can see this all in action. So I can move around, and if you notice, I can move diagonally now in the different directions. I can also shoot diagonally now. Now, if I hit an enemy, you can see that his health just changed. And if I hit him twice, he'll die. Currently, we might need to add some more adjustment because it is rather hard to hit the enemies. Maybe we can turn down their speed, or maybe we can see about adding a little bit more of a wider shot for the player, or what have you. We can play around with these features. But now we have it where we can damage our enemies and we can move diagonally. I hope you found this useful. Please comment if you have any questions or suggestions for this game, and I will see you in the next one.